Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to Technocrats, where we're talking about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity Chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z, like Zorro, but with a Z. And of course, as always, blessed to be here with my main man, the man that always has the technical plan. I couldn't do this without this main man, Stan, Mr. Jonathan Davis. Jay, what up, baby?
Oh, man, what's going on, Gary? Man, I feel great, man, to be here and excited. And for you all who don't know, it's actually a cold day here in Houston.
It sure is.
What is like in the 40s or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was like, I saw high 50s earlier this morning. It was like 53, 54, but it may have dropped down to the 40s. Like, it's Houston, though.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Bitcoin, which we're going to talk about later. Like, you never know what's going to happen. It might be 100 degrees tomorrow, literally. So,
Yes.
it just is what it is, man. So, but what's up with you, though? How's everything going? You good?
Oh, yeah, a lot of different things, exciting things coming. Astra, Tesla. Hopefully, we're going to make another announcement in about a week or two.
That's what's up.
And let the people keep them informed. And we're trying to bring things in to get more of our people involved in tech, and other people who may have felt for some time they weren't able to get involved in tech. It's things for everyone to be able to do. And we're going to dive into some of those things on the show today.
I'm all for it, man. Let's dive in. Speaking of diving, we've got some issues, obviously, in California. For those that don't know, you've got these wildfires. Perhaps not wild, but you've got fires that have gone wild in California. And from a technological perspective, one of the issues that people are having is the fact that drones are wreaking havoc for some of the firefighters and people in California, these rescue teams that are trying to function and work. But people are utilizing their drones to get all this footage, and they're causing issues where people are possibly losing lives. Jay, what's going on with all this, man?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not exciting, but for some people who like news and some people who are witnessing something devastation such as this for their first time, it may be exciting for them to say, hey, I invested money in these drones. Let me go. I see live video cameras out here in trucks. Let me go fly my own camera or drone and capture some of this. But what's happening, these consumers who are doing this, as you can see on the video, they have these high-end drones that was intended for firemen and policemen off of search and rescue. Mm-hmm. But the problem is a lot of these drones are also available to a regular consumer, which is made by the company DJI. So what's been going on since even last summer in California, consumers been flying these drones trying to survey the area themselves and get footage relayed. But it's been in not only impacting the flying in the same pathway of other drones that's being used by the firefighters, but it's also in the pathway from helicopters and other flying vehicles for landing. And if these firemen see these types of things flying around the area, unfortunately, they can't even go into the area at all. And we have another article we talk about just showing you some more where you can purchase some of these things from. And it's really cool to see that, within the last 5 years, it became like a must-have for consumers.
And let me tell you, man, I had originally wanted a drone. Then I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna fly it around the house, outside, stuff like that.
Right.
I'm not really gonna do anything with it. Then we start seeing all the African Americans getting pulled over. I was like, man, it'd be lovely if I could have a drone pop out of my car when a police stops me and just do a circle the perimeter and record instantly to Facebook or something. But I say all that to say, like, I've had all these ideas of utilizing a drone, but I've never pulled the trigger. And I see something like this, what's happening in California, in which is so dreaded, all these homes being destroyed, all this property being lost. I mean, these fires are going crazy. And for those that are watching us right now, we've got the CNBC article up, and it is a monstrosity that's going on in that state. But it is crazy, the fact that people have to deal with individuals flying these drones where the rescue teams are it's not safe for them to get into the play.
Yeah, and I know people, first of all, it's very dangerous because if you are in the range, I don't know what the limitation range on some of the drones, they have different models, it varies, but you are in the danger zone if you're able to be in range not to fly your drone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, pretty much. You might burn up. I mean, just keep it a buck. You might catch on fire, folks. You out there flying your drone.
Right, and like they say, the wind pattern can change so quickly. As I was looking at CNN, they were trying to explain it, that you could be standing over here, and like in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, a fire can just be over like almost a quarter of a mile somewhere different, that quickly. Yeah. And you trapped in somewhere. So it's just like, it's a very great danger. But I want to also talk about the benefits of the drones. The drones have been beneficial because they got the search and rescue feature. I don't know if you got a chance to see about the search and rescue feature with that camera. Like they have a picture of one where it has the camera under it, and it has like a heat signature and like an infrared thing, and that has been very beneficial in finding people who've been buried under debris. Not necessarily in this case with fire, but in other cases. But it's helped also to help find a lot of hot spots that's developing, and to tell the temperature for areas that firemen can't go walk through or hike through. So it's saving a lot of lives. And what's so scared about this is what makes it real is that they have expectation of how many firemen they're going to lose. So to know that, hey, once the person go out to the site, they survey it, they have a calculation and say this is such a high alarm fire, we anticipate probably losing this amount of number. That's just, but to know you had that information, but they have to appreciate what they do, that they know it could be either one of them that's going to die, to try to protect your property. Because they're not really at this point trying to save people's lives. They're trying to protect property. Yeah. And, but to see how drones are being used and the technology, it's remarkable.
And it's almost a gift and a curse, because we see the need, obviously, in this situation. We see where drones are beneficial and can save lives and can give us this footage to have an understanding. And as you mentioned, detect heat signatures and know where the fire's hot or where it's cold. Perhaps even find someone who's alive in a home versus someone who's not, and things like that. So, but it's the gift and the curse. It's sad that when, on the flip side, individuals out doing their own thing, and you're inhibiting someone from being saved. Right. So, shout out to the drone flyers out there. Shout out to DJI for making the equipment. But people, please be conscious of what's going on and be kind and courteous to the firefighters with these drones, man. Let them get in there. Yes. So, moving over into the news. I had a conversation with somebody while I was driving earlier, which made me think about this and wanted to put this on the Runner Show. Bitcoin, folks. Bitcoin. Last year, Bitcoin was at $800, right? And today, or earlier today, Bitcoin hit $16,000. Broke the $16,000 mark. Now, first and foremost, people don't understand, and I had this conversation with somebody, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is digital currency. I'm gonna try to stay in as layman's terms as possible. Using something on the back end called chain blocking, and basically This is not a paper currency that you would put in your wallet or put necessarily tangibly into a bank, but more so a digital value that sits in a digital wallet that sits on your personal device, that you have access to. You can utilize it online or places that do accept Bitcoin as a form of legal tender, because you're doing business with someone and they have agreed to accept it as payment. Now, Bitcoin, and I'll make the comparison, today currently trades like you trade on the stock market, so to speak, or for those that are more familiar, like Forex, or trading money or value or currency, like a commodity almost. So the value of Bitcoin continues to fluctuate. And that's what we're talking about right here today, is the fact that, as we mentioned, it was less than $1,000 a year ago, and today it crossed the $16,000 mark. And a lot of people don't know what to do. People are concerned. Some people are happy and loving this. Other people feel like this is just a bubble, which is about to burst. Jay, what's your thoughts on Bitcoin? And do you see this great time as like this Bitcoin gold rush? Is that where we're in right now?
Okay. I don't know necessarily a gold rush. I kind of do. I think people should have got on the bandwagon earlier, but a lot of times, good things or good investments always people become aware of them at the last minute or too late. But as far as Bitcoin, I feel is here to stay. I do hear that other people trying to come up with other kind of currencies. I think the government or something looking at doing it themselves. But as far as Bitcoin, you see how the rate has changed. It's proven a lot of experts in the field, in the financial field, and analysts who have said that this is going to flop, this is going to fail. There's no way really to secure it. How are you going to work the chain? It's too hard and cumbersome for a new person to want to get into this form of currency. And as we see it keep growing, it's proven all these analysts that's been in the field wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, it is
loud and wrong.
Yeah, it is. You make your investment on there, you sign up, and boom, within a few hours, you have that currency digitally for you. And there's more and more people who are accepting the currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, if people, with the value going up, that means it makes, let me make it plain for those that are watching us right now. If I decide to accept Bitcoin today, with the way that it's trending, it would make sense for me to sell a service or something today for the value of Bitcoin, knowing that tomorrow it might be worth twice as much as it is today. Because Bitcoin was at $8,000 like a week ago. And today it's at 16. It literally doubled in like a week. Like it's at I'm gonna look for a Bitcoin chart because I want to see what that actually looks like. And I have obviously a wallet on my phone. I use Coinbase. Yes. And I'm just excited to see the currency continue to grow. I think the biggest question is if it stays where it's at now, as far as the trend is concerned. Do you think other coins like the Litecoin, like the Ethereum, and I think there's another one, I can't think of the name, plus all the other smaller coins, like Snoop Dogg has his own coin, and all these other people have their own coins. Do you think that the other coins will continue to rise as well? What's your thoughts on that?
I think one or two maybe. And I know we talked about here, they're talking about the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, looking into different things in trade and other governments. I think Bitcoin has the advantage it has is such a great name recognition, and that it's so easy to utilize, and so many people have already adopted it into their financial systems, their ecosystem per se. It's kind of like once everybody went to Apple Pay first, and then Android Pay came along later. A lot of people has already invested in card readers or scanners through retail stores just for Apple Pay, so they're not going to break their 3 or 4 year or 10-year agreement for financial systems just to say, okay, point of sale systems, they say, okay, let's make it, let's go ahead and get rid of this and get one that does both or get one that does Android. So sometimes when you are out in the market first, even if it is new tech, you have an advantage down the line. And that name recognition, people just stay with you. Even if somebody may come out with something better than you.
Yep, I agree. And I'm opening up Coinbase and logging in as we're talking about this. And Bitcoin was at 17,000 and some change. Literally logging into it right now in my $17,572 per Bitcoin per coin, right? So that's here to stay. And we're going to see what happens because obviously this is more of a digital trend and we want to keep you all aware of that. And thank you for those that are tuning into us right now. What's up, Tam? I see you. Tristan, what up? So if y'all have any questions in regards to Bitcoin, please make sure y'all drop them in Facebook Live. Speaking of your coinage, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by the Houston Housewives of Finance. So did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 millions of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say that they don't have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or send them an email over to info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finances are the new faces of the new age of financial services. And I just had a conversation with those ladies about Bitcoin earlier this week. So have that conversation with them and see how you can possibly or considerably add that to your portfolio if that's something you want to get into. So moving right along, Facebook, good old Facebook. Now, Facebook, for those that are unaware, Facebook owns a company called Oculus. Now, Oculus is your virtual reality company that they picked up a couple of moons ago. We'll call it like that. And they've been slowly, developing more. We've talked on the show about Facebook Spaces, which is basically Facebook in VR where you can pop out. And it looks like Facebook has decided to give all the Oculus subscribers their own virtual home. So basically, you're going to get your own Batcave secret layer from Facebook if you've got VR. Now, this, and the movie hadn't come out yet, which is Ready Player One, which is all about virtual spaces and living in this virtual ecosystem. They call it the Oasis. But Jay, this is exactly what you and I talked about on this show a few months back, that when they get into this VR space and people start to enjoy VR and Facebook is the platform for VR, everybody else, it's a wrap from a social media perspective.
It's over. No one's going to want to leave this environment or this ecosystem or the world, the fictitious world of Facebook, VR. As you think about creating your own home, the first thing that came to mind is seeing your avatar, walking around this Batcave or his home. And then it's seeing, as you're trying to buy and customize your home, an advertisement or something pop up from Samsung. Hey, put this TV in your virtual home.
Virtual TV.
So you actually have a real stencil or something like that, visual stencil, whatever deal, to go in and look just like your LG or your Samsung TV in there. Then the kind of car you want to get, Tesla. Yeah. And let's see if I may give you Facebook may give you a few freebies at first, but then they may say, hey, if you want this pack, pay $3.99 for this pack of stencil or pack or whatever else you want to add into your home, and you can customize it like you want. I'm thinking about it.
You thinking about it?
They're gonna make a killing off this.
Facebook, for sure.
Facebook is gonna make a killing off this.
For sure. I don't see, and that's here the tie-in. We just finished talking about Bitcoin, digital currency. Yes. What if Facebook starts to accept Bitcoin as the virtual currency for Facebook Spaces and your VR and all things VR? Oh, wow. The fact that you're gonna allow all these companies to start selling digital merchandise that ain't real per se, but selling you digital merchandise. It's a whole new revenue stream. It's a whole new, for all the companies that want to get involved. You mentioned it right there saying, Samsung, let me put this virtual TV in your virtual home, and we're only going to charge you, 0.17 Bitcoin for it. This is more revenue for nothing, for ones and zeros. That's all it is.
Right. What just came to me as an idea, and I'm going to share this, GM, with our viewers.
Okay.
You had the Oculus Rift headset on. They tried to have in the earlier version of Android, the Netflix thing, the movies. Okay? Yeah. Let's say I'm walking into my virtual home with the Oculus Rift via Facebook, and I have someone in the community who I can invite through the VR space to come into my virtual home.
Yeah.
I can say, let's watch a movie. You purchase the movie through your virtual home, and then the movie comes up on the person who, when they walk through your home, they can elect to choose to see the same movie with you as well. Or sample this new CD or sample this new music that dropped. So I can see them doing little creative things like that. Or some kind of video game. Hey, you want to play the video game? You can literally come into the person's home, sit there and play the game, and now both you all see the game or you're in the game.
Yeah.
This is going to change a lot. This is going to... And then as the generation of the goggles and things, as new generations and iterations come out of the goggles, the headset rather.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
This is going to be it's going to be the go-to place to get away.
Yeah. No more 2D space.
Yeah.
No more, let me log in to check Facebook. And obviously for those that are watching us right now, you see the image when Zuckerberg was talking about Oculus Go, which is basically their detached or detethered version of the Oculus Rift. So we're getting to the point to where this will, as Jay just mentioned, this will become your go-to. You're not concerned about, the flat 2D on your laptop, on your phone. You're not concerned about that. You're concerned about putting these goggles on or this headset on and interacting in this space. You're in the comfort of your own home, or you're in your office and you got your Oculus Go with you. This is what that is. You're sitting in the back of a cab. You got this headset on. You're not even interacting in the real world anymore. Yes. Everything you do is here, which goes back to us having that conversation about augmented reality and the death of the smartphones. So all of this starts to tie in together. So for those that are watching us, you're able to see some of this demo stuff. This is exactly what we've been talking about. And y'all aren't where else are y'all getting this kind of content from, man? We're giving y'all the true ins and outs of technology all the time. And you're able to see what the future is really going to hold for you. And this stuff is just beautiful. This is today. This is not coming, a year from now, 2 years from now. This stuff is today. This is what people are doing right now in their homes, while most of us are still sitting in front of computers. So that's just what it is, man.
Well, this is definitely going to help those that's in graphic artists or graphic designers. I can see them being able to have like open source community where they can sell some of their art or some of their little things they draw, and in that kind of way import it into the game.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see this. But hey, Facebook subscribers, we really appreciate you tuning in tonight.
Yes, we do.
We love you. We appreciate your support. We ask that you please continue to subscribe to our other venues and markets where we're at. Such as iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. You can check us out on all those major platforms. You can also review our show. We appreciate the reviews we have been receiving. For those giving us constructive feedback, as you can see, we're in the studio now. You can see we got different things. We're doing digital. We got a good team being built, and we're definitely fulfilling the things that you asked with your feedback. I also ask continue to share this out. Anytime you get on, spread the word. Keep this going internationally, going across the world. That's definitely what we are. We in different markets. We're all over the place. The Spear Network.
We are.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is the dollars that make sense.
Yes.
That it helps to donate to our mission and the cause. And you can see what we're doing, things with the network and bringing the things that you're asking for. And you can continue to bring in inspiring content. And so you can also donate. So if you have questions about donating, you can go to the website, www.thespirit.tv/donate, and you can do it on a Patreon. You can do it from $1 a day, $1 a week, $1 a month, or whatever you want to contribute to support what the Spirit Network is doing, and also to be able to help others and give places to have content that empowers you.
There it is. Facebook, we'll see you later, folks.
Yes.
All right, let's keep this party rolling. We've been kind of rolling through these. The Switch. Nintendo Switch. Now, some people, Jay, say that the Switch saved Nintendo. Some people say, and the numbers don't lie, that the Wii U almost killed Nintendo. So it looks like, folks, Nintendo is heading towards that $1 billion profit mark. And they're saying the Switch was the key to make that door unlocked. So let's talk about this article, Jay. What's going on here with the Switch and with Nintendo?
Nintendo just won't stay down. I mean, I actually think I said on one show on an episode that I foresee Nintendo in the next 2 or 3 years being out of the big three.
Mm-hmm. You did. I remember you saying that.
I don't know. That darn Switch saved them.
Yeah.
Kind of way.
But who else would be the? I mean, obviously PlayStation and Xbox. Who else?
Steam.
Steam.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
yeah. So the home game console, I see Steam being able to easily take over Nintendo spot with them making some of their own publisher games. I think Steam is so big that they can go into publishing their own games.
Okay.
But I think before that even happen, I still feel that Microsoft is going to acquire them.
You say you still feel that what?
Microsoft will acquire Steam.
And wrap it into Xbox?
Yeah, some kind of way. I think they will.
I mean, because they're already digitally delivering games, right?
Yes.
So it would make sense to be able to stream games if you. I mean, and now we've got gig to the desktop. I mean, gig to the house.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like
Right.
that idea.
Yeah, I think I foresee Microsoft just saying, hey, let's go ahead and bring Steam over.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Nintendo.
Sure.
We both thought Nintendo was dead.
Yeah.
The Wii U was DOA. It was dead on arrival. The games was a flop. The biggest complaint was there wasn't enough content for adults on games, and then it didn't have a good online play. The avatars were ugly, and it was just what was basically carrying was the publisher games, the rights, proprietary games from Nintendo.
Yeah.
But when the Switch came along, giving people that versatility, as you see there are people standing in line, and so many people are so happy, and they see that it's able to fight against the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One. I say S. I'm not going to say the One X because it's two to be determined. But to see that the Switch has gained life. But did you know that the biggest thing that helped the Switch to be able to gain life was a Nintendo title?
Zelda. Good old Zelda.
What do you think about that? Do you think that it's going to eventually catch up with them, not having nobody else to help them look good?
I'll say this. I think a lot of times we forget how powerful. We forget that hardware is great, but it's always about the software. Because you can have great hardware, and if you don't write for it, if it's not written properly, if it's boring, people aren't going to play it. You can have the best console in the world. Look at the Xbox One X or the S or the regular or whatever. But if the games aren't there, nobody's buying it. And so to me, it makes sense that Nintendo says, you know what? We've got a killer game for our device. They did the same thing that's how the original Nintendo got popular. Mario was the killer game. Mario took it to the next level. Mario Kart did the same thing for Nintendo 64.
Yes.
It literally took it to the next level. So it's always these killer titles. Think about Xbox.
Yes.
The first Xbox, when it was large as I don't know what, it looked like a big bread box.
Yeah.
It was popping because of Halo. Halo was the killer title. Speaking of which, because I want to make sure we get our coins in for the advertisers, because we're going to dive into this one. This particular portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at The Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. I done said it so much, I don't even need the card number. I know this stuff.
Yes.
But it's because I wanted to make sure I got that in and we didn't go too far into this. But every great piece of hardware had that killer title. And if it wasn't for Halo, and if it wasn't for Gears of War on 360, we may have not had that true push. And obviously 360, there are other titles that kept coming, Call of Duty and all the variants of that, Battlefield, all the variants that really made 360 pop. Go ahead.
You know, another thing that really helped the Xbox was that they supported 1080p and 1080i.
Very
1080i and
true.
1080p.
Very true. 720p,
Yeah.
1080i, 1080p. Yeah.
PlayStation 3 only had the 720p on most of their games, and I could not get my head wrapped around that. And then also, all of Xbox 360 games supported online play. PlayStation didn't.
That's true.
So that was the thing that I think really kept them. PlayStation had a lot more games than Xbox to choose from. A lot of good titles that Nintendo publishers.
Great titles. Yeah.
They had a lot of more better titles, especially the Street Fighters and Tekkens, things like that. Then they come to Xbox later.
Metal Gear Solids, that was dope.
Yeah. I love that series. Metal Gear Solid. But the online play thing helped propel, I say, Xbox, and then more mature games. And brought out the power and the online experience and took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. And now you couldn't imagine not having an online presence in a game, right? I mean, this is almost a necessity to be online to do something, let alone these 30 gig downloads and 20 gig updates for stuff. And you're like, man, y'all killing me. But once again, back to the Switch. I was a bit hesitant from the idea that it was this convertible device, a device that you could play, on the go as well as dock and give you that presence in your living room. I thought that was more gimmicky first, but when I talk to somebody who has it, they always mention that, man, I can play it on the go or I can go dock it. And it's like, I've never thought that would be a big thing. I thought it was cool, but I'm not taking my video games on the go. Yeah. But some people do.
Right. And to me, I wouldn't want my main thing that can go in my living room console to be something I can take with me.
Same here.
I want my living room item to be a living room item, to stay stationary. And then I have a handheld that can interoperate with the living room item, like the PS4 and the PS Vita.
Yeah, I was just about to mention the Vita.
That would be what I would want. But to me, okay, you all know how I feel about Nintendo. But to me, I see that what they saying is going to reach much money in sales? The article was saying that?
Well, I know it went from fiscal sales 10 to 14 million, and room to be as 30 million number of Switches sold. So but the goal was them getting to that $1 billion mark. But I mean, $1 billion. And back to the titles. Obviously not just Zelda, but I hear, and even our intern, he raves about Super Mario Odyssey. And I don't know if that's that new resurgence of Mario. But if people are loving it, man, 30 years Mario's been out. 30 years since I was 5 years old.
85.
Yeah.
Mario is still king.
Hey.
I mean, it's just.
People love that, man. People love it.
Yes.
So I'm happy to see it there. What do you think do you long-lived, or do you think this is that last hurrah?
I think this is it for Nintendo. If they can't come out with a console that's, I know I keep saying this and I'd be proven wrong, I feel like they got to get the graphics better. They got to launch with the online working. Yeah. And at least get people, with smart TV capabilities, like to be able to get content, the Netflix, the Hulu's thing. That should just be standardly baked in day one. Yeah. I still think the model, keep the handheld separate and let it be able to work with the main console. I think that's the better to me, instead of having a console flip and convert into a handheld.
I feel you.
Yeah, I just think that's better to me.
Well, okay, so let's speak hypothetically. What if they made a Nintendo Switch Pro? So a Pro version of Switch, 1080p. 2160p. Yes. So let's go 4K with it. Let's go with full hand controllers, not the small stuff, but bigger with the stand. For adults, what we're accustomed to, style of controllers. With all the popular titles. I'm talking everything from the Call of Duties to the Battlefield, World War II. I'm talking, all your heavy stuff. Injustice 2, y'all were just talking about that. Yes, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah. What do you think that would do for Nintendo today moving forward through 2018?
Nintendo will probably easily become number 2 for the real core gamers.
You think so?
I'm not going to say in sales. Number 2, even probably number 1.
Really?
Yeah, why? Because if they come out with a pro system hardware that's competitive or in comparison to the PlayStation 4 Pro, and the Xbox One X. And you got all those people who love the Mario, the Zeldas, the Mario Karts, the Metroids, all those games. And then you're bringing it in the late next gen graphics and a good online play environment. And then I can take a handheld and be able to play it like remote play.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting Nintendo #1. I would invest in it because I do still like Mario. Even though I still like Mario. I still like Mario.
I would invest in it.
I still like Mario Kart and the old school Metroid and other things like that. You know, I remember what it used to be Banjo-Kazooie and DK Donkey Country.
Yeah.
Kong, you know, so I was, you know, if they had it brought it up to let me see how Donkey Kong and Mario looking next gen.
Yeah.
Oh man, so.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. I actually concur. I would buy one. I will never.
Yeah.
For those that are watching, you listening right now, I will never buy a Sony PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I buy Nintendo.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yes. And now this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680.
There it is. Get your teeth right, folks.
Yes.
Get your teeth right. So before we get out of here, Jay, you had mentioned something to me about this phone, and I said I was going to save it for the show. Yes. Right? And for those that are unaware, I'm holding up a OnePlus 5T. We should probably start doing unboxings on the show and some other stuff. I'm just greedy. Yeah. I get stuff and then I just open it. I don't even think. I'm not even like, damn, I should start saving some of my hardware for the show. OnePlus 5T. I had the OnePlus. Terry, you got the thing up because you hit your number. It's all right. It's cool. It happens sometimes. It happened to me before. So when I saw it pop up, I just wanted to tell you straight up. But this phone, I had the OnePlus 5. I upgraded. When I was going through it at first, I was like, why did I upgrade again? Why did I just bought a phone 3-4 months ago. But I'm going to sell it on eBay. If anybody listening, y'all want to buy it, hit me up at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. But I'm going to sell it on eBay probably this weekend. I say that to say that I am ecstatic and it feels good. The performance, I've got 128 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM, and I've got, the new 18:9 aspect ratio for those that can see it on the screen. It's the pretty, it's wide, doesn't have a lot of bezel on the device. Software buttons versus my OnePlus 5 had hardware home button, which was also the fingerprint, and it had capacitive buttons on the side. So I wasn't necessarily on the screen. So I have to swipe up when I'm in a particular app, like if I'm in a Slack app, I have to swipe up to get the home button more so outside of that. And supposedly there's some apps that you can use the fingerprint reader on the back for the home button. But overall, I'm happy with it, man. And I like the fingerprint reader, I think, being on the back versus being down at the bottom because you don't need it. There's nothing happening on the back of most phones. I don't know why Apple didn't we talked about this. Move the what's it called?
Fingerprint reader.
Their fingerprint reader. Yeah, I forgot what they call it, but as far as Touch ID. Move Touch ID to the Apple logo. That would have been dope.
Oh, yes.
Super dope. And that would have made the Apple logo so much more important again. Make that the Touch ID instead of being forced to do face. And that's the part that I was saving. When I first opened the phone and set it up, it was like, would you like to enable Face ID? Okay. Yeah. Enable Face ID. Bro, when I look at this phone, I'm going to turn around and let you see this. So.
Yes.
You saw that?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's so fast.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm trying to look at the notifications on the screen and then it opens up and I'm like, Face ID. Yeah. Never considered Face ID. Samsung did it 2 years ago
Yes, it did.
on their S5 or S6. It was just
Eyes.
it was a gimmick.
Yes.
Now it's like the thing to have.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the phone had it. Had no idea.
Yeah. That just shows you some other gems left to be discovered in the OnePlus.
Yeah. I'm ecstatic about this phone. I wish it would have had the stereo speakers probably, but if you do that, then you can never have full bezel-less. I don't think I'll ever get that again. But overall, I think it was not necessarily a need of an upgrade, but it's a phone that I don't feel like I need another phone.
Right, and it got a lot of rave reviews still getting, and it's gonna be like one of the most wanted items for the holiday season. So
At $499 for intro price, and mine this was only another $100 for the 8 gigs and the 128.
you can't beat that.
Nah.
You can't beat that.
No, matter of fact, it might have been like another $50. Like everybody got it for like $559 or something. Yeah, I have no complaints whatsoever, Jay. How's that iPhone X rolling?
iPhone X, I didn't go with the iPhone X.
Oh, that's right. No, I'm looking at the home button talking about iPhone X. Yeah.
The iPhone X has a lot of issues.
Yeah, it does.
To let our viewers know.
I got a homegirl who has one, and she's like every day, she's like it's doing something crazy.
Yeah, and anybody else down tiered below that with the iPhone 7, it has so many issues with the updates as well. And the iPhone 8, so far I haven't heard too much with it. So I think if Apple heyday, the 10, the X was kind of disappointing for a lot of people. They was expecting more. It is one of the most expensive phones, and it is doing some things, but really the things it's doing was things that everybody was doing already.
And how about this? To bring this on home, we just had a conversation about Nintendo, about if your hardware is right, you still got to have the killer software to support the hardware. And one of the worst problems with the iPhone X or 10 or whatever we're calling it is the fact that that iOS 11 is making it out to be nothing but a problem.
Yes.
And it's the software. It ain't even the physical issues with the phone. It's the software. If they could get the software right, people would love the phone.
Yes.
But people ain't loving on the phone because the software is killing folks.
Right, exactly.
Here it is, folks. This is what we give you on Technocrats each and every week, man. Giving you the ins and outs of technology so that you can be empowered. This is what we do. Jay, it's been a pleasure as always, man.
Yes.
Where can the good people reach you at?
Y'all continue to hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at AstroTesla80 or email me at jdavis@astrotesla.com.
There it is. And, of course, you can reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity Chatting. I might be chasing down some carolers this holiday season. Hit me up at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you got any questions about anything we do on the show, shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv. This has been another great episode. We will see you all next time. Take care.